Okay, pile one. What planet wants to work with you? I thought this would be fun whether or not you knew about astrology, because if you do know, then you can just think about how this planet is in your chart, what sign and house, and how it's functioning, and focus on that and unpacking where the planet is in your chart. And if you don't know astrology, even just looking up the planet alone, there is so much information and so much that you could unpack. You could watch the reading and then spend days or weeks or months or years just unpacking that one planet alone and everything it could mean. So let's jump into it. For you, pile one, the planet that wants to work with you is Uranus. So Uranus is the planet that represents Aquarius energy. It is a planet that actually spins on its side instead of spinning from up and down. It spins like sideways. So it is typically seen as the planet of rebellion. I think more so it is the planet of unique truths. Uranus doesn't do shallow, casual rebellion. It isn't going to, well, a shadow form of it, a lower form of Uranus does, but a very evolved Uranus energy doesn't just do or say something just to be different and just to go against the crowd. These are people who understand their unique truths and understand things in their own way, and they will be loyal to that no matter what the crowd is doing. So Uranus wants to help you discover your uniqueness, your true essence, and your true core, and help you hold to those truths and not care about conformity and not care about being understood or accepted by other people. It's holding those truths no matter what the cost is. If you have a deep inner truth that conflicts with something that your friend does or believes, Uranus is saying you should hold that uniqueness and hold that inner truth. And if the person cannot accept you for who you are, then maybe they weren't that great of a friend anyway. It's about living in authenticity. So I pulled cards to find out more. The first card represents what Uranus wants to help you with. And I love this card, the Creator. It's such a beautiful card. It's about being some kind of an artist, which fits so perfectly with Uranus energy. This planet wants to help you not only for your own personal benefit, but it seems like you have the capacity to create something. This card makes me think it's artistic, like a music, writing, poetry, but it could be literally anything. It could be a business idea or something new for your work. It wants to help you create this so that it can benefit a lot of people. And this fits perfectly with Uranus energy too, because there are planets which are very much about one-on-one relationships. Uranus is not like that. It is very much a collective energy. It understands, as much as it's about individualism, it's about everyone's individualism, and someone who is different enough to speak or to create or to put their painting or their song or their book out into the world and have that be seen by so many people. So that was a really exciting card to get, because Uranus wants to help you realize that what you have to say through your art or through your creation, whatever it is, could potentially impact large amounts of people. And this is so perfectly in alignment with Uranus and even Aquarian energy, where one person says their unique truths, and it's so deep and so profound that it just sort of reverberates through crowds and crowds of people. The next card you got is the Stone, and I pulled this card to represent what Uranus wants to help heal in you. And you see the difference between these cards. The Creator is sort of using darkness to create all this light and all this color and all this beauty. The Stone has some color in it. The Stone is like a darker rainbow color in this card, but it's surrounded by so much gray. And I think it is in the symbol of alchemy. So Uranus wants to help you transform by bringing your inner colors to the outer world. It's perfectly symbolized with these two cards. Uranus wants you to find your individuality and find what's real and true for you. And I think when you do that, you will find something that resonates with a lot of people. And you can use that to fuel your creations and be seen or heard by large amounts of people that I think you'll be able to help. But there's more on that. I pulled cards for what particular thing, what is the uniqueness that you have that it wants to bring out of you. This is very interesting. You got the Village and the Tear. It's pointing to you being a very incredible healer, for you using art. It might not be art, but that's the most obvious example. For you maybe creating a song or a book or a painting that can really show people themselves and help them emotionally heal. The Village is collectives of people. What you find, or maybe you already know this, maybe you're already carrying around these deep observations about the people around you, about society in general, about the community that you live in, but you're sort of keeping them to yourself. Uranus wants you to bring them out. The Tear is about a release of negative emotions. So I think that you are very deeply observant and you're very aware of things that society on any level, whether this is your community or your country or the world, you're aware of the things they're doing that are bad, that are negative, that are hurting them, and you see things that they should let go of, which is very much the Tear, is about releasing those old things. And I think that Uranus wants to help you have the confidence to find that if you haven't already, and then use that to fuel you out into the world and into creation. For whatever kind of creation energy you have. And creativity can be applied to anything. So even if you have a job that doesn't seem creative, you could still, there's still ways that you can bring creativity through. But I think that you have an important message that could really help groups of people. This seems like your message and your creations can be loaded with very keen observations that other people just aren't noticing, and that they can help people heal. So the next card is, what could you be if you embrace this Aquarian energy? And I got the Bardo. This is so interesting. This is such a unique card. It's such a sort of like a dark uniqueness, like a witchiness. And that just fits so perfectly with Uranus energy. The Bardo talks about in-between space. The Bardo is typically seen as the place you go when you die, sort of this, you die from this plane and you go to the Bardo and await the next plane. But in this context, I'm seeing it as your ability to, one, embrace your uniqueness, 2, shed light on your own shadows and shadows in humanity. And 3, be very intensely spiritual. If you have deep curiosities about spirituality, you could already be doing this where you're very invested in it. You have the ability to be able to bring very potent, powerful information through, because the bardo is the between space. So you can be here in your physical life and be very good at reaching through that, sort of through the veil, and getting spiritual information that helps you understand yourself and the world. And you can then put it into your creations and heal people. I wanted to pull more about your power, and this goes so perfectly. The shadow and the self. I mean, this is so incredibly spiritual. We were talking about, this is exactly what we were talking about. The shadow is the unconscious. This is like what the tear is saying. You have the ability to show people their own shadows, to make something in collective unconscious. You have the ability to make that conscious. If there's a group of people, I'm trying to think of an example. It's something simple. If you're watching a group of people and you're like, you guys, you're working like 40 to 60 hours a week and you have no time to actually live or be individual or pursue your passion or be with the people you love, and this doesn't actually make any sense. Like, why are you giving so much of your life to someone else? And then people would be like, oh my gosh, you're right. You can help them. I know that's a strange example because I think a lot of people feel that way anyway, but you can point things like that out that people are doing that they're not realizing they're doing. Things that just don't make sense and are overall causing a lot of negativity and unhappiness. You can point that out to people and make that shadow into light. The self is someone who is so conscious that they're very tied and connected to their higher self. Their higher self and their physical self are working together. So you're living a very spiritual, physical life. Everything is both spiritual and physical. You have the ability to be a very illuminated soul. And in that, you can illuminate the darkness for other people. You can shine the light on the things that people are trying to hide. And in that, you can help them heal, and you can help them and society progress forward in a more healthy and full and a way that can help make their souls happy. And again, on the self card, you have that sort of like tie-dye-esque colors around it, just like the creator card. So embrace your weird side, embrace your uniqueness, embrace your truths, and use them in whatever form of creation you feel drawn to, and you can help heal people with the help of Uranus. And it could be fun to look up where Uranus is in your chart and how it functions, and then look up what it means in the sign and in the house. And you can unpack that information just forever. Birth charts go so deep. So I hope that was enjoyable. I think you have an incredible energy. Thank you for being here, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Okay, pile 2, what planet wants to work with you? I thought this would be a fun reading because if you love astrology, you can really focus in on this planet in your chart and really dissect it and figure it out and find its strengths and weaknesses in your particular chart. And if you don't like or know about astrology, I thought that it would still be fun because once I give you the planet and give you information after the reading, you can look up information about the planet just endlessly. There's so much astrological information out there, and you can discover where it is in your chart and how it wants to function for you. So pile 2, what planet wants to work with you? You have Saturn. I'm not going to lie to you, this is a tough planet. But Saturn is in everyone's chart. Everyone has all planets, so there's sort of no way to avoid any sort of planetary energy. And right now, Saturn wants to work with you. Saturn is a planet of time and lessons and learning. It is about limitation. Saturn will limit you and sort of bound you and restrict you until you learn all the lessons that you need to learn to become a master in that area. It's a rough ride, but the planet is ultimately about mastery and about building your life with competence and intelligence and having explored an issue very thoroughly and completely so that you can get perfection out of it. It's sort of the opposite of luck. Like Jupiter represents where things will happen for you easily. Saturn represents where things are going to be very difficult. Where there is Saturn in your chart, you're going to face difficulty and lessons, and things are going to be restricted. It's going to be difficult for you to get out of it. But ultimately, what the planet wants from you is this full knowledge of a situation and of an aspect of life so that you can master it, so that you can be an expert. So the first card I pulled for you is, what does Saturn want to bring into your life? And you have the prayer. The prayer is, this is Saturn energy, because you see the darkness at the bottom of the card and the hand trying to reach up out of the darkness and get to the light. But it's kind of a difficult thing to do, which is Saturn energy all over. Wherever it is, you feel your life is lacking, where things are dark and difficult, Saturn wants to help you rise. And it does that by sort of holding you down until you figure out for yourself how to get to where you want to go. There are planets and placements in the chart where they're more lucky, where things can just kind of happen, where if you're in a bad situation, maybe something magical can happen and you're just out of it. Saturn is not that energy. Saturn is saying, get down into the darkness, because you yourself are going to build the staircase out of the darkness. It's sort of wherever Saturn is in your chart, or Capricorn, Saturn rules Capricorn, it's showing you where you're going to be in a deep, dark pit, and you are going to have to yourself build the staircase out of it. And when you do that, you can get to higher ground than anyone else because of the skills, the knowledge, the information, and just the general competence that you're going to have. Saturn is a planet that makes masters and experts. It doesn't just give you luck and give you things and you end up somewhere and you have no idea how you got there or how to maintain it. And if that happens, if you're just sort of dropped on top of a mountain or on top of a staircase, people can kick you off because you have no foundation. Saturn, where Saturn will take you, will definitely be completely solid and real, and it's totally yours. So no one can make you feel bad about being where you are, because you know you got there yourself. And you're going to get there. Maybe people get there faster, but they will not get there on the same solid foundation that you have. So the prayer is telling me that Saturn wants to help you reach your dreams. It wants to help you get the things that you are praying for or wishing for. But it's telling you that you have to be the one to build the staircase to it. If you are hoping that you can like just sit there and someone's going to save you, or if you're hoping that you could just get a journal and write down, I just win $1 million, and then that will come in. Saturn is saying, no, it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be worth it in the end. You're going to have a solid foundation. You're going to get exactly what you want, but you have to put in the work to get it. So I pulled cards for what does Saturn want to help you heal in your life. This is such Saturn energy. Apocalypsis and the Gem. Apocalypsis is like apocalypse. It's the destruction of things that do not work. Saturn is coming in to help you destroy aspects of your life that are not functioning for you, are not good for you, that are holding you in the dark, and that are holding you sort of hostage, that are sapping away your energy. And I know it sounds like that's what Saturn itself does, but Saturn is holding you in the darkness until you can unlatch all of those things. So to give you an example, let's say you have a family member who just isn't kind to you, who is highly manipulative, who depends on you, and who's just constantly wanting your time and your money and your attention, and like you feel for them and they're your family, so you just keep giving them everything they're asking for and you keep helping them, but this person doesn't help themselves at all. Another planet could get you what you want, but won't help you get rid of that situation. Saturn says you're not getting to the next level until you deal with this level. So Saturn is telling you, if you have a situation like that where you're expending so much time and energy and resources into something or someone who is just abusing them, who isn't even using them to better themselves or to get their own sense of independence, they're just falling back on you for that. Saturn says, cut the situation off and then you can get to the next level. Other planets will get you to the next level and then you have all these issues when you're there. We think that when we level up, our issues are going to be gone. A lot of times that doesn't happen. But with Saturn, you can't level up until you deal with all the lessons on that level. So it's saying, Saturn's saying, I'm here to help you heal and fix and cut off situations that are bad for you. And once you do that, you can rise up. The Gem is also a perfect card because you see this beautiful rainbow colored gem in the middle and it's surrounded by all this darkness. Saturn is saying that you are a diamond in the rough, that right now you might be surrounded by darkness or a difficult situation or draining situations, but Saturn is going to put the pressure on you, which isn't going to be comfortable, but pressure is going to turn you into the most beautiful, sparkling gem ever. And when you rise and when you get to the top of whatever hill or mountain you are climbing, you're going to be the most beautiful, perfect, pure one there. Because you will have dealt with all the lessons before you got there. You're not taking your problems with you. Saturn is helping you get rid of your problems. It is helping you sort of polish that gem, and you can be the most perfect, beautiful gem possible, because that's what Saturn is about. Other people might take shortcuts. Other people might get things faster, but their gem is weak and cracked and broken, and yours is going to be the most perfect, beautiful, sparkling one. That is the energy of Saturn. It is about things being worth it in the end because of how much you learned and how it sort of is the one that is mastery and perfection. You'll be the perfect gem because you'll have put in the work. to be the perfect gem. Those things don't just happen. Okay, the next cards are, what does Saturn want to help you build? This is beautiful. The threshold and the vision. Saturn is very much about the vision. It is about long-term, real, solid things. Foundations that are unshakable and perfectly built and designed. So whatever the vision is for your life, whatever, and with Saturn as well, these are big dreams, people. Your dream is probably not a small thing. You probably want something that is huge, and with Saturn backing you up, you can get there. That is the promise and the benefit of Saturn, that you can get to the top of this mountain. You can construct whatever your vision is for your perfect ideal life, and it is probably has something to do with mastery in a certain subject or form. So if you want to be like a musician, like you would be one that is so beautiful and perfect, like you've mastered the form that you do, whatever type of music you do. It sounds so beautiful and perfect, and you get respect from people who also do it. This isn't for little players. This is for people who want to stand on the top of the mountain and be an authority and respected for whatever it is that they do. And you have the capacity to do that with Saturn backing you up. And that's what this is saying. The vision is about, I will help you get this. And there's going to be lessons along the way. You, one step at a time, deal with them. You will get to the top of the mountain. That's the promise. And threshold is, this is quite a beautiful card because it's a person literally standing in darkness and stepping into the light. Saturn wants to help you enter an entirely new realm and an entirely new era. Saturn is the planet of like the self-made millionaire, the planet of someone who doesn't start out very well, but gets to the top of the mountain anyway. So that is what it wants to help you do. It's sort of like what I was talking about earlier. I always picture Saturn and Capricorn energy as where you're going to start in the deepest, darkest depths of the pit, but where you have the highest heights to reach. It's both of those things. Saturn is really about that path. So it wants to help you get to the top of whatever mountain you want. And it is reassuring you that it might be tough, it might be difficult, but you can get there and you are going to love it in the end. And you will get the rewards as well. Because Saturn is very earthy. It's not just going to have you do it for nothing. So you'll get the very, very high potential for success if you put in the work. The last couple of cards I pulled are about what your life could look like once you're sort of past the threshold. If you embrace Saturn and the lessons of Saturn. These are first two, I have another two, but the fault line and the mystic. Your life can really be separated into two separate eras, like before the good thing happened and then after the good thing happened. You might be in struggle right now, but once the fault line is crossed, once you've mastered all the lessons that Saturn has put there for you, you just start getting the rewards. Saturn is about difficulty in the beginning, rewards at the end. This is why very Saturn people or very Capricorn people are said to age in reverse. That's one of the most like well-known little facts about Capricorn energy and Saturn energy, is that when these people, if you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, when you're young, things can be very difficult and you have to take on a lot of responsibility. But then as you age, you get the success, you get the money, and you get to just sort of become like a child that you never were. You have your money and your power, and you can just roam around wherever you want and have freedom and play and fun. So that's what the fault line is telling me, that you're going to have that transition. You are going to get light and play and laughter and love and carefree, real, genuine, deep contentment in your life. And with the mystic, this is what we were talking about earlier with mastery. People are going to be amazed at you when you finish this journey. People are going to be stunned. They are not going to know how you did it. And you are going to walk around with this mysterious allure and this mysterious regality and power, because those are Saturn things that they're not going to be able to understand. There is a gravity to Saturn that people who don't have strong Saturns or Capricorn placements just don't have access to. And it means you go through difficult things and trials and tribulations, but when you come out of it, there is a gravity to you that other people can't get, because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to build the staircase out of the pit. So they carry the pit with them everywhere they go. They're going to be amazed at you. And you are going to walk around in this like tall, I mean literally tall, like you're going to walk just so tall and strong and confident and powerful in this poised and composed, deeply content way, because you're going to know what you did. You are going to feel how powerful you are, and your life is going to show it. The last cards I pulled are, it's the same thing. What could your life be if you embrace these lessons of Saturn? And the ring, I don't usually interpret it this way, but I immediately saw this as a sense of complete wholeness. Every aspect of your life will feel so completely whole and satisfied. And it's interesting that the mentor came out, because the mentor and the mystic are very similar. People are going to look to you for your strength, for your power, and for your knowledge. People are going to look to you as a resource on how they can get out of their own problems, because you'll sort of have done it all. And you'll have been, you've mastered all these lessons. So you're someone who can help other people master their own lessons. But you're going to feel your strength and your power, and everything in your life is going to feel like one beautiful loop. It's going to feel so whole and complete and solid. So that's the information I have for you. If you like this, you can definitely go look up Saturn more and learn about Saturn lessons, or even Capricorn. Look that up and see where these placements are in your chart. And just, you could unpack this information just for ages. So I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you next time. Okay, pile 3. What planet wants to work with you? I thought this would be fun for people who liked astrology and would hear the planet and could go to their chart and dissect what it means and focus in on that planet in their chart and see really what it wants to do in their life. And if you don't have an interest in astrology, I thought it could still be interesting. And when you hear the planet, you can then go, and there's so much information to unpack. There's so much astrological information out there. So I thought that it would be fun either way. And what planet wants to work with you? Lucky you, you got Jupiter, which is the planet of luck. Jupiter is the biggest planet there is, and thus is the planet of expansion. Where there is Jupiter in your chart is where sort of you gave yourself a blessing, or the universe gives you a blessing. Jupiter is a planet that wants to come in and make a part of your life very sort of easy and abundant. So the energy of Jupiter is, let's say there is sort of a drawing where you buy tickets and you can win something. If the odds are 1 in 100, if you call in Jupiter and have Jupiter on your side, your odds will be like a 1 in 10 instead of a 1 in 100. That's how it works. It just puts the odds more in your favor so you can bring in more abundance into your life. Another example would be someone who's got 10 seeds and plant them all and 2 of them grow, but someone who is being blessed in that area by Jupiter can plant 10 seeds and 8 of them will grow. And that's the energy that we're talking about. Just sort of luck and ease and abundance. It wants to expand a part of you in your life so that it can be a bit easier and bring you in more things that will nourish you and help you. So the first card I pulled is what does Jupiter want to help you with? And you got the stone. This card has been coming up a lot in readings, but the stone is sitting in this card on the symbol of alchemy. So Jupiter wants to help you transform. And the stone is really a card that makes me feel like it wants to help you bring your beautiful inner self. Like on this card, the stone itself is like this pretty rainbow of colors, but it's surrounded by black and white. So it wants to help you bring your beautiful inner self out into the world to get rid of all this black and white and gray that might be surrounding you. So it wants to help you get a beautiful, colorful life by bringing your best parts and aspects out into the world. It wants to help you transform. The next cards I pulled are, what does Jupiter want to heal in your life? This was surprising because Jupiter typically talks about like physical things. And for you, these cards very clearly say that Jupiter wants to help you expand your spirituality with the Starborn and Agape. Agape means open. This card talks about all of your chakras just getting like blown open and you getting information and having very high levels of spirituality very easily. And Starborn is someone who sort of like becomes aware of the cosmos and spirituality and multi-dimensions, and it typically points to someone who is a star seed. So if you know you're a star seed, this is the perfect pile for you. If you've never heard that term before, you can go ahead and look it up. There's a whole world of information on it. But these 2 cards are telling me that Jupiter wants to help you become highly spiritual and in touch and in tune with other realms, other dimensions, with your higher self, with any aspect of spirituality that you desire to get into contact with, really. This is very high, very skilled spiritual person. So whether that's tarot reading or channeling or automatically writing or just getting sort of downloaded information, this is you being in direct contact with other realms. And I pulled cards for what does this spirituality want to bring into your life? Like, how does Jupiter want you to use this to benefit your life? These cards kind of came out together. I didn't see the bottom card at first, but it's the Father and then the Cave. Next to it is the Healer. Very clear information. Jupiter wants to sort of blow open your spiritual centers so that you can get spiritual information to help heal your inner wounds. So with this coming out, this is telling me like maybe some of you have a deep father wound that it wants to help you heal, but it was covered up, so maybe that doesn't resonate with all of you. But the cave is the aspects of yourself and your life that are wounded, hiding in darkness. This is about shadow work. This is about finding the inner children that are like scared and hurt inside of you and helping them reach the light. This is about delving into your unconscious or your subconscious and bringing the light there and loving all of these traumatized and hurt aspects of yourself so that they can move into the light and sort of flow into you once again. It's very clear with the healer next to it. So Jupiter wants to help you expand your spiritual abilities so that you can use them to heal your deep inner wounds. And with the healer there, it makes me think that you can heal your wounds, but maybe this knowledge that you bring through and this wisdom you bring through can help you heal other people's wounds as well. So maybe you are a healer, and a lot of healers first had to heal themselves. So it's definitely saying you're going to be able to heal yourself with this information. And then if it's something that interests you and you want to, maybe you have the capacity to help heal other people. The next cards are, if you use this spirituality that Jupiter wants to bless you with and you use it to heal these wounds, what can you be? Like, what power will you have? And these are incredible cards. The Seed and the Queen. The Seed is all about potential. And this is really meaningful for this pile because it was talking about those deep, dark inner wounds that you have to go and find and bring light to and heal. And the seed is a little thing that you shove down into the darkness and into the ground and you cover it up. And it's sort of alone in this darkness, but then it cracks open and gets to the light, right? As the plant grows, it goes through the ground and it starts getting the sun and the light it needs, which is very symbolic, I think, of what Jupiter is coming in to help you with. It wants to help you heal the places that are hurt. And with the Queen next to it, she is the powerhouse. This is incredible strength, incredible power, and complete knowledge that she is powerful and confident. She knows what her power is, and no one can make her doubt it. So this is, you have the potential to break open and grow into the Queen. Be this beautiful, powerful being who has their own kingdom, who is in control of her life. And on this Queen card, there is a flower, which is what we were talking about with the seed. So maybe you're in darkness right now, but you can bloom into this beautiful flower. And there is also a snake on this card, which is a symbol for, oh my gosh, I didn't realize, it's a symbol for transformation, which is what I was going to say. But then I just realized that snake is also a symbol of spiritual wisdom, which is exactly what Jupiter wants to help you get. So you have the power to walk around in deep wisdom and just power. You'll know your power. You'll know like your worth and your value and your strength. You'll know that you can control your life. You can heal your wounds. So other people can't re-wound you because you've already healed that. You walk around with an incredible strength of self, which is quite lovely. And once you embrace what Jupiter wants to bring to your life and heal these wounds and step into your power, once you've grown, what could your life turn into? And I have the Ocean and the Vision, which is lovely energy. The Ocean, I think, speaks to your power. Whether you're feminine or not, the Queen in the Ocean speaks to power in a feminine way. The ocean has the feminine power of being like Jupiter in that it's incredibly expansive. The ocean can contain anything, and it itself is very unshakable, and it is a powerful force, and that is the power that you will be able to have. If you think about someone throws a rock into a puddle and it makes a big splash, someone throws a rock into the ocean and it barely notices, and that's the power you're going to be able to have. You will be so vast in your strength and in your also intuitive ability and spiritual knowledge that nobody is going to be able to shake you. Once you heal these wounds, you don't get them again. You take the wisdom and the lessons from them so that you can live in a stronger way. And I just see people, like the way you gaze at the ocean and you're like, wow, this is incredible and mesmerizing and calming and so vast. That's how people are going to look at you, as someone who is mesmerizing and just all-encompassing and immovable. You're going to be someone that other people know they can't rattle, because your peace is within you and you cultivated it and you walk around with it. Ocean is also spiritual in that it's very intuitive. So I think you're going to have that for the rest of your life as well. The vision is saying that if you embrace this healing and this wisdom, you will be able to create any life that you want. The vision is literally your highest dreams. There's a mountain in this card, and it's saying you have the ability to reach the peak of the mountain. So whatever your highest dreams are, this is saying if you allow Jupiter to benefit you and embrace you, and you embrace the power of it, it can help you deepen your spiritual abilities, which can help you heal. And in turn, you will have the power to reach the top of any mountain you want. Very, very strong. You're very strong. This energy is very strong. And these were going to be the last cards that I pulled. And I had the deck in my hand as I had just pulled these two. So I was looking at them. And a special little bonus message fell out for you. And it was the sweetest thing, because I wasn't shuffling. I just sort of had the deck and was kind of looking at these two cards that had just come out so I could get the messages and information. I was sort of fiddling with the deck. And this card flew out. This is the Lover. So it is such a beautiful little special message at the end. This is saying you heal your wounds and you become this powerful, like, ocean queen. It'll bring love into your life. So if you had any sort of like worries or anything about that, this is saying you have the capacity to, when you're in your power, attract and have an incredibly beautiful, loving, healthy, healing, just incredible relationship. And that was not something I was going to pull. That flew out for you. So your future love, whoever they are, was like, I am getting mentioned in this reading. It might be intimidating to think about these wounds that you have to heal, but when you heal them and come into your power, there is an incredible, healthy, reciprocal love there for you in the end. And I have to leave it at that because that was so beautiful. So feel free to have fun with this and look up Jupiter and everything it means and find it in your chart and see what it's trying to tell you there. And good luck exploring the spirituality, and good luck with healing these wounds, and you come out like a powerful queen in the end. Thank you. Okay, pile 4. What planet wants to work with you? I thought this would be fun for people who really like astrology because they can focus in on this planet in their chart and really unpack it. But I also thought it would be fun for people who didn't have that particular interest, because it could spark an interest, and after the reading you can really look up information just for ages about each planet and placement and find where it is in your chart and how it wants to function in your life. So without waiting, what planet wants to work with you? You got Venus. Venus is typically seen as the love, relationship, and beauty planet. It rules over the way that we relate to each other, the way that we feel beautiful, the way that we want to love and be loved. And it also rules over creativity, sensuality, luxury, and just enjoyment of life. So I'm not going to go on about it for too long, because the message with the cards went a way I didn't expect with this planet, but it's very applicable to the planet, and this was a very interesting message. So to jump in, I pulled cards for what does this planet want to help you with? And you got the One and the Mirror. Venus wants to help you see the beauty of who you are on the truest and deepest level, because how you are viewing yourself right now is distorted. The One is your true soul, your truest, deepest, most authentic self. And the Mirror is how you see yourself. You aren't seeing the real beauty of you. You aren't seeing the beauty of your soul. You aren't seeing the uniqueness at your core. And Venus wants to help illuminate this so you can truly see yourself for who you are, which is this incredible, beautiful soul. So I pulled more cards to clarify. I got, what does Venus want to help you heal? And you got the Creator and the Healer. These two cards are souls that are like deep, empathetic, sensitive, in tune with themselves, in tune with other people. They can be sensitive souls and very gentle people. And I feel like you have this deep down. You have this capacity to be a very deep and impactful soul. With the Creator, I think that you're someone who can really make something unique in the world. And with the Healer, I think you have incredible layers and depth to you. Both of these cards speak about depth. I don't think you're seeing the entirety of your depth. I don't think you're feeling the true essence of who you are. I pulled more. The fault line and the self. This is about what you want to, how it wants, Venus wants to help you heal. And this goes perfectly with the message, because the self card is once again the message of finding your unique soul energy, who you are at the deepest core, which is beautiful. And the fault line is a fracture in your self-image. And I pulled more cards to clarify the fault line. Let's see if I can get them in. And I'll just cover it up, I guess. But I pulled to clarify the fault line. It's like, what is this break in the image? Why are you fracturing your beautiful self and seeing it wrong? The siren is the allure of the physical. And next to it, you have the dead end. These are the clarifiers for fault line. This is a person who has put too much emphasis on physicality, or, well, it's emphasis on physicality, but it can go either way. So this is someone who has decided that physicality is so important that they have to, like, maybe spend hours and hours a day and hundreds of dollars, like getting hair extensions and getting their hair done, and every day making sure it's makeup. And if they go out and their hair gets messed up, it just throws them completely off and they can't stand it. And they have to go fix their hair instead of like enjoying their life. Or for a guy energy, someone who like is lifting weights for just way too long, spending too much time in the gym, that it's making their body more unhealthy because they're not meant to just lift that much for that long, and they're hurting themselves. Or this could be a person who says physicality is so important and I do not have it. I am not beautiful. I am not handsome. So I'm opting out and I'm just going to be really miserable that I don't have this one thing that I completely need in order to live a good life. And the dead end is very literal. There's either way you are, whether you say I'm just too ugly to be happy, or I have to spend so much time on my physicality that I can't be happy. It's saying that you can't take this any further. That sort of like, this is enough. This is the wrong way to look at life. This is the wrong way to go about it. This is someone who also seems like they really depend on external validation. And that is a beautiful thing to have. I don't mean to demonize it, but I think you're taking it a bit too far. Like if you wake up and you get yourself together and you get your hair done and you have your outfit perfect, and then like not enough people compliment you, you're devastated and it really affects you. Or if someone says something negative, they don't like your shirt or something, it really throws you off. And it's just getting, external validation is a good thing, but it's getting taken too far. Is it saying you've reached a dead end with how much you are overemphasizing physicality? This is surface. The siren, like I'm seeing this as you're not considering how beautiful you are as a person because you're too focused on your body and your face. And those are aspects of us. And yes, it definitely benefits to be healthy and be a certain way, but this is too much emphasis on it. With the cards we have before, you are like a compassionate and deep and wise soul. And you're just not even paying attention to that part of yourself because you're spending too much time like getting your hair perfect. It's fine to have an interest in physicality, but you don't want to sacrifice the beauty of your soul and see yourself as ugly, even though you do have this deep, compassionate, empathetic soul. So if you embrace this Venus energy, the energy Venus wants to help you with, I pulled, what could your self and soul really be if you free yourself from this overemphasis on physicality? And the thread is, this is interesting, the thread in the box. I think that you have the capacity to have a very unique mind and unique thoughts that really change the way that people see things. I think this is part of your power. The thread I typically see is a very spiritual card because it's like the thread between your spiritual self and your physical self. So I think you can tap in spiritually and get these unique insights. You're an out-of-the-box thinker. You have very cool ideas. And with the healer and the creator coming out earlier, you are someone who can turn those energies on other people and help other people heal themselves and help other people see themselves the way that you can. Typically, you have to heal something in yourself to be able to heal it for other people. And I think you're going to go on a journey of truly discovering the beauty of your deepest self. And I think you might be someone who can help others do the same. And the next cards I pulled were once again about who you could be if you embrace this lesson. These are such beautiful cards. The Maiden and the Nectar. This is what I was talking about with the ability to help other people. The nectar is sort of the medicine that you find that can help others. It is what you can give to others. The Maiden is such a beautiful card because it's saying, you know, don't demonize femininity. Don't demonize doing your hair and your makeup and your clothes. Those are such beautiful things. But what makes the maiden isn't her beauty. She's not trying to be beautiful. She just is beautiful because she's such a sweet person. And she sees the best in everyone. And she sees the beauty in everyone. She's completely non-judgmental. The Maiden is a sweetheart. And she's seen as beautiful because of her sweetness. Because of this nectar she has. She's someone who will talk people up. Like if someone is sad, I think you have the capacity to go to them and talk to them and say, you know, don't think about yourself that way. You're beautiful because I see that you know, are good at art, or you're nice to this person. Like you can see the best in people and tell them what the best is and help give them the nectar to see themselves as beautiful the way that you can see yourself as beautiful. And the Maiden is seen as beautiful by everyone, but that's not what means the most to her. She can pay attention to what she looks like, but she wants to be kind and compassionate to people. And that's what she gets seen and recognized as, and that makes her even more beautiful. And I think that you have the capacity to be this maiden and to help other people see the beauty in themselves. And I wanted to pull another one for what you could be in the end. Like if you embrace this maiden energy and you embrace this healing and you embrace your true inner beauty, what could you turn into? And this is a powerful message. The Desert and the Sustainer. The desert is an area that just has nothing. And then the Sustainer is like the exact opposite. The message I'm getting from these cards is that you will become a person who can completely sustain yourself and you don't need any validation from anyone else anymore. Like if you are in sort of a desert, if you are not getting all of this input from other people about who you are, what you look like, and whether it's compliments or even negative things, if you're getting nothing from other people, you can sustain yourself because you will know who you are. What other people say or do or how they treat you is a reflection of them, and you'll stop taking it as a reflection of you. And you will say, I don't need people to tell me that I'm kind and compassionate and beautiful because I know I am and I live that way. And if someone wants to come up and be mean, it'll maybe hurt. It's not nice when people are mean, but it's not going to shake your foundations of who you are, because you will hold strong in that and you will understand yourself at the deepest core level. You'll know who you are so powerfully that no one can take it away from you. And that's the message that, the last message I have, the message that Venus wants to leave you with. So I thought that was a very interesting reading. Venus is about beauty, and it's saying you might be beautiful on the surface, or you might not feel beautiful on the surface, but inside you have such a deep, compassionate, beautiful soul, and it wants you to tap into that and see everything that you could be. Okay, and it could also be fun to look up where Venus is in your chart and look up what your placements and aspects mean. So I'll leave you there. Thank you for being here, and hope I'll see you in the next one.